All right, fight fans and YouTube warriors. Uncle Ace is back in the house, and boy, do I have a story that's juicier than a heavyweight's post-weigh-in feast. Before we dive in, smash that like button faster than Crawford's jab and subscribe quicker than Madrimov's hooks, cause this tale is about to set your screens on fire. So picture this Eddie Hearn, the man who could sell sand to a camel and make it think it's getting the deal of the century, finally breaks his silence on the Crawford-Madrimov fight. And let me tell you, it's more shocking than seeing Mike Tyson in a tutu. Now, if you've been living under a rock bigger than Tyson Fury's appetite, let me catch you up quicker than a Crawford stance switch. The boxing world's been in an uproar louder than a crowd at Madison Square Garden about this fight. Some folks have been screaming robbery like they just caught someone stealing their grandmother's secret recipe, while others have been defending the decision like it's the last slice of pizza at a heavyweight's dinner table. Enter Eddie Hearn, the smooth-talking, slick-haired promoter extraordinaire. He's been quieter than a mouse in a library about this fight. Until now. And when he finally opened his mouth, it was like watching a volcano erupt in slow motion. In an interview that was more revealing than a boxer's pre-fight weigh-in, Hearn dropped a truth bomb bigger than Deontay Wilder's right hand. It wasn't a robbery, he said, shocking the boxing world more than if he'd announced he was becoming a ballet dancer. I was upset. Now, let's pause for a moment and let that sink in deeper than a body shot from Canelo. Eddie Hearn, the man who could argue that water isn't wet if it suited his narrative, is admitting that Crawford's win wasn't a robbery. That's like hearing a politician admit they were wrong. It's so rare, you might want to buy a lottery ticket cause this might be your lucky day. But wait, there's more. Hearn went on to break down the fight with the precision of a surgeon and the eloquence of a poet, if poets talked about left hooks and uppercuts, that is. He pointed out how Crawford, slicker than a greased pig at a county fair, managed to outbox Madrimov in the later rounds. It was like watching a master painter add the final strokes to a masterpiece, except instead of a brush, Crawford was using his fists. Hearn didn't stop there, though. Oh no, he was on a roll smoother than Crawford's footwork. He admitted that while he thought Madrimov had done enough to win, he could see how the judges scored it for Crawford. It's like he was saying, hey, I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to throw a tantrum bigger than a toddler at bedtime over it. Now, this is where it gets interesting, folks. Hearn, in a move slicker than Crawford's defensive skills, managed to both defend his fighter and acknowledge Crawford's win. It's like watching a tightrope walker juggle chainsaws, impressive, slightly terrifying, and you can't look away. He praised Madrimov's performance, talking about how the underdog came out swinging like he was trying to knock the freckles off Crawford's face. For a few rounds there, it looked like David might actually topple Goliath if Goliath was a pound-for-pound king with faster hands than a hummingbird on espresso. But then, according to Hearn, Crawford did what Crawford does best. He adapted faster than a chameleon in a crayon factory. He started picking Madrimov apart with the precision of a sniper and the relentlessness of a tax collector. It was like watching a chess grandmaster slowly but surely checkmate his opponent, except this chessboard had a lot more bruising involved. Hearn's breakdown was so detailed, so nuanced, it was like he was painting a word picture more vivid than Van Gogh on his best day. He talked about the ebb and flow of the fight, the momentum shifts, the tactical adjustments. It was enough to make even the most hardcore "it was a robbery" truther pause and think, maybe I need to rewatch this fight without my Madrimov's going to shock the world glasses on. But here's the kicker, folks. Even while admitting it wasn't a robbery, Hearn couldn't help but throw a little jab pun absolutely intended at the decision. He mentioned how close the fight was, how it could have gone either way. It was like watching a magician reveal how the trick is done, but still leaving you wondering if there's more to it. In the end, Hearn's interview was more balanced than a tightrope walker's diet. He managed to defend his fighter, acknowledge Crawford's brilliance, and keep everyone talking about the fight. It was a masterclass in promotion, as smooth as Crawford's transitions, and as powerful as Madrimov's early flurries. So there you have it, fight fans. Eddie Hearn, the man who could sell a rematch between a rock and a hard place, admitting that Crawford-Madrimov wasn't a robbery. It's like seeing Bigfoot riding the Loch Ness monster so rare, you might want to pinch yourself to make sure you're not dreaming. This whole saga just goes to show that in boxing, like in life, things aren't always black and white. Sometimes they're as gray as the area between rounds, and as complex as a Crawford combination. It reminds us that in this sweet science, there's always more than meets the eye, kind of like Eddie Hearn's hair product collection. Now, if this breakdown had you more entertained than a cat with a laser pointer, don't forget to smash that like button harder than Madrimov's early round flurries. If it got you more fired up than Crawford's pound-for-pound ambitions, go ahead and subscribe faster than Hearn can say it's not a robbery. And if you've got thoughts on whether Crawford vs. Madrimov was a masterclass or a controversy, drop them in the comments quicker than Crawford can switch stances. This is Uncle Ace reminding you that in boxing, like in life, the truth is often more complicated than a Crawford stance switch. Stay sharp, keep your guard up, and remember sometimes the best fights happen outside the ring. Peace out, fight fans.